for another deep dive.
Always.
Today, we're diving into the connection between thoughts, beliefs, well-being, all that good stuff with Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life.
Yeah, it's a classic.
This one goes deep, pun intended, obviously, and it's packed with those aha moments.
It really is.
Yeah.
I think what's great about You Can Heal Your Life is that it's not just theory.
Right.
Hay gives you this whole framework, a toolkit almost, to understand how your inner world shapes your outer world.
Right, and then actually do something about it.
Exactly.
So let's jump right in with this idea of the power of thought, because that's really at the core of everything she talks about, right?
Absolutely.
It's this idea that your thoughts directly influence your physical health,
Yeah.
your emotions,
It's your relationship.
even the situations you find yourself in.
It's not just about thinking happy thoughts and hoping for the best, though. It's deeper than that.
Right, it's not wishful thinking.
Right. It's about understanding the real impact of that voice in your head. And Hay speaks from experience here. She shares her own story of overcoming abuse, negativity, even cancer, using these principles to turn her life around.
Wow, that's powerful stuff. It's one thing to talk the talk, but to have lived it.
Exactly.
That's going to resonate with people.
Yeah.
So how do we actually shift those thoughts? Because let's be real, our brains can get stuck in these negative ruts.
Right. They do. That's where affirmations come in.
Okay, affirmations. I feel like everyone's heard of affirmations. But tell me more about how they actually work. Is it really just saying nice things to yourself in the mirror?
Well, it might sound a little like that at first, but think about it this way. Imagine your brain's playing the same worn-out record of negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Affirmations are like swapping that record out for something empowering, something uplifting.
Okay, I like that. I like that analogy.
And the thing is, we're already affirming things all the time.
Without even realizing it.
Exactly. Every time you think, ugh, I'm so bad at this, you're affirming that belief, whether you mean to or not.
Right.
So Hay's point is, why not do it intentionally?
Right.
Why not choose affirmations that actually serve you?
That makes sense. So we're talking about retraining our brains, essentially.
Yeah.
But then Hay takes this a step further with this whole mind-body connection, right?
Right. This is where it gets really fascinating. Hay suggests that those thought patterns we're talking about, especially the negative ones,
Yeah.
can actually show up as physical symptoms in your body.
So it's not just that these negative thoughts make you feel bad emotionally, but they can actually contribute to things like headaches or stomach aches.
That's the idea. She even has this whole mental causes list where she links different physical ailments to specific thought patterns.
Oh, wow. Like what? Give me an example.
Well, she links headaches to self-criticism, for example, which I don't know about you, but
Oh, 100%. I can totally relate to. Stress headaches are my specialty. So how do we actually use this information? I mean, we'll get into the practical side more later, but just broadly speaking.
it's about listening to your body.
Okay.
Instead of just like popping a pill for that headache,
Yeah.
Hay's like, what's it trying to tell you?
Right.
Is it stress? Is it that inner critic going wild again?
Interesting.
It's about making those connections.
So our bodies are giving us these messages, but sometimes it's like we have these deeply ingrained beliefs that almost get in the way of us hearing those messages.
Right. Totally. Hay calls those limiting beliefs.
Oh, yeah.
It's like these subconscious rules we've created about ourselves and about the world. And they can make it so hard to hear what our bodies, what our intuitions are trying to tell us.
And we all have them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hay talks about those really common ones like, I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve love, or,
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like we're walking around with these invisible scripts that we picked up somewhere along the way,
Totally.
and they're dictating how we live our lives.
It's like we're on autopilot, playing out these pre-programmed roles.
Exactly.
And the thing is, these limiting beliefs, they often stem from childhood experiences,
Oh, interesting.
things we might not even remember consciously.
Wow.
But they can have this huge impact on our adult lives, our relationships, our careers, our health.
It's like setting ourselves up for this self-fulfilling prophecy without even realizing it.
Exactly.
Like, if you believe you're not good enough, you're going to act in ways that sabotage your relationships.
Totally. So the first step is becoming aware of those beliefs.
Okay.
Once you kind of shine a light on them, they lose a lot of their power.
Because you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's not actually true. That's just this old story I've been telling myself.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's empowering because it means we're not stuck.
Right.
We can actually change those beliefs.
Absolutely. And a huge part of that is self-love.
Okay, let's talk about self-love, because that's a term that gets thrown around a lot these days. So what does it actually mean in the context of Hay's work?
For Hay, it's about recognizing your inherent worthiness, just as you are, flaws and all.
Right.
It's not about being arrogant or narcissistic or anything.
Right.
It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer a loved one.
It's funny, I remember when I first read about Hay's mirror work, I was like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
I'm picturing myself like awkwardly talking to my reflection, but
Right.
the more I thought about it, the more it made sense.
It can feel strange at first, I'll admit.
Yeah.
But it's about kind of breaking down those barriers that we have around self-acceptance.
Okay.
When you look yourself in the eye and you say those affirmations out loud,
Right.
you're really directly confronting those negative self-beliefs.
So it's about shifting that internal dialogue from self-criticism to self-compassion.
Exactly. And remember, this is a practice, not a quick fix. It takes time and consistency to really rewire those thought patterns.
Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight.
No, but the rewards are huge.
It makes me think about that whole like fake it till you make it approach.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't fully believe those positive affirmations at first,
Right.
the act of repeating them can start to chip away at those negative beliefs.
Totally. It's like planting seeds.
Okay.
You might not see the results overnight.
Right.
But with consistent nurturing, those seeds of self-love, of positive belief, they can blossom into something really powerful.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And this isn't just about feeling better emotionally, right?
No, not at all.
Hay connects this self-love to healing and transforming different areas of our lives.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of this work. It's
Okay.
all interconnected.
Right.
So, for example, let's talk about relationships.
Right, relationships. Because Hay talks about how the way we relate to ourselves kind of sets the stage for all of our other relationships, right?
Absolutely. It's like that old saying, you teach people how to treat you.
Ooh, I like that.
If you don't believe you deserve love and respect, you're going to attract people who mirror that back to you.
Okay, so it's not about blaming ourselves for attracting difficult people into our lives.
Right.
It's more about recognizing those patterns and then realizing we have the power to change them.
Exactly. And Hay gives you actual tools to do that.
Yeah.
It's about healing those old wounds, learning to set healthier boundaries, all of that.
Okay, that makes sense. So she doesn't just stop at love and relationships. Hay also talks about this connection between self-love and, get this, financial abundance.
Yes, this is one of my favorite parts.
Okay, tell me more. Because it seems like a stretch at first.
It does.
But it goes back to those limiting beliefs, right?
It does. If you believe you're not worthy of success or that money is evil or,
Right.
any of those things, you're probably going to subconsciously sabotage your own financial well-being.
So those thoughts, they're not just affecting our emotions, but they can literally show up in our bank accounts.
That's the idea.
That's kind of wild. It is wild, but it's also really empowering.
Okay.
Because it means we have more control than we realize.
Yeah.
By shifting those beliefs, by embracing what Hay calls an abundance mindset, which is really just believing that there is enough for everyone, including ourselves.
Right.
We can create some pretty incredible change.
Wow. It really is all connected, isn't it?
It is.
Our thoughts, our beliefs, our physical health, our relationships, our finances. I mean, Hay really drives that point home.
She does. And ultimately, that's a really empowering message. We're not victims of circumstance. We have the power to choose different thoughts, different beliefs, and create a totally different experience for ourselves.
This has been amazing. Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, everyone. Seriously, pick up a copy if you haven't already. But for now, I'm curious, if you had to boil it all down to one key takeaway for our listeners, what would it be?
I would say the biggest takeaway is that we are not our thoughts. Okay, I like that.
We have thoughts, but we get to choose which ones we want to empower.
Right.
And through that process of choosing, we can heal ourselves and create a life that really reflects our highest potential.
Beautifully put. And for everyone listening, we'll leave you with this. If you could choose just one affirmation to embody today, one positive statement to guide you, what would it be? Choose it, embrace it, and see what magic unfolds. Until next time.